Sara is a young girl who's attending her sister Lucy's birthday party. She's jealous of the limelight Lucy is receiving on her birthday, so she blows out the candles before her sister and takes her birthday wish. Lucy is enraged by this, and to get revenge, she declares that she will steal every wish Sara makes in her life from now on. Sara believes that this is the start of her misfortunes. She grows up believing that her bad luck is due to her sister's curse. As a teenager, she falls in love with her best friend Aaron, and just as they're ready to kiss, she receives a call from Lucy. Later, Aaron gets called away and moves to another high school, and she bids him goodbye, not knowing when they would meet again. In the present, Sara is now in her 30s and refuses to follow her ambition of fashion design, fearing that bad karma will ruin her chances. Lucy has become a successful, wealthy model with millions of followers. Similarly, Aaron is now a well-known and famous musician. On the other hand, Sara lives in her grandmother's shabby old house and runs a failing business selling her designs. She watches Lucy and Aaron's ideal life bloom on social media, blaming her sister for everything bad that has happened in her life. Sara even has a boyfriend who lives in another city, but she has no genuine affection for him. One evening, Lucy and their parents pay a visit to Sara at her home. While Sara informs her that their parents are getting a divorce, Lucy does not take this news maturely and is enraged by this. And when their parents try to blame each other, Sara intervenes, suggesting that they discuss it once they both cool down. After everyone has gone to their respective rooms, Sara calls her boyfriend Roberto and tells him about Lucy's engagement. Roberto says that he's happy for the couple. The next morning, Sara is making her coffee when Lucy's fiancé approaches her, and to her shock, he is none other than her first love, Aaron. They instantly recognize each other, and while she's still shocked, she realizes that Lucy truly gets everything Sara desires. Don't Blame Karma is a movie that revolves around Sara and her relationship with her younger sister Lucy, her growing love for her high school best friend Aaron, and her dream of becoming a fashion designer. But all of this is hindered by her fear of a curse. Yes, curse. You don't think they exist? Keep watching to find out. Now back to the video. Later, Sara goes out to dinner with her family, including Aaron. Lucy goes live on social media and publicly announces her engagement. Hearing this, the fans go crazy and surround them while Aaron and Sara hide under the table. She realizes how she feels at ease in Aaron's presence despite being apart for a long time, and Aaron senses the same. Later, Lucy asks Sara how she can make Aaron laugh since he saw them laughing earlier as they ran out of the restaurant. When Sara says that Lucy must know her fiancé better than anybody else, Lucy discloses that despite dating over the internet for months, they'd only met for 3 weeks and that she knows nothing about him. Sara tells her coworker about the whole situation, who advises her since Lucy and Aaron aren't serious, she should pursue her love for him. But Sara says that she cannot do this to her sister, and on top of that, she has a boyfriend. Her coworker then responds that a virtual relationship is not real because there's no physical connection. Lucy tries to get Aaron to eat the meal she prepared, but Sara stops her, saying he's allergic to shrimp. He even shows her the shrimp tattoo that indicates his allergy. Then, her parents discuss how Sara and Aaron used to hang out after school and design different clothing using the cyanotype technique. Afterwards, Sara shows them some of the designs she created. After noticing Sara's interest in fashion design, Lucy introduces her to a well-known designer named Arturo Colavita. Since Colavita is having difficulty coming up with fresh designs, Lucy hopes that he will notice her sister's unique creations. While Colavita is admiring the designs, Lucy tells her that the designer of the shawl will be designing her wedding gown. Hearing this, Sara becomes terrified as she realizes how many responsibilities she now holds. Even though Colavita is amazed by her work, she becomes anxious and leaves instantly. Sara gets stressed and goes out to get some drinks when she runs upon Aaron. They become incredibly drunk and spend the evening reminiscing about their school days. Aaron tries to convince her to participate in the fashion show and even calls Colavita to inform him of her decision. A while later, they arrive home drunk and find Sara's boyfriend Roberto waiting for her. The next day, Sara works on her designs for the fashion show and Lucy's wedding. Before going to bed, she asks Lucy and Aaron to sleep downstairs and reminds them to close the back door. However, the next morning, she finds out that they did not spend the night at the house and did not close the door. This caused the clothes to be overexposed and damaged. She screams angrily at Lucy, telling her that the bridal dress is now ruined, and walks away. Aaron arrives to comfort her that evening and plays the song he wrote for her. Meanwhile, Sara's father notices them and takes her away. Later, he tells her that she should not do anything that may hurt her sister. Lucy and Sara are in a spa when Lucy says that Aaron does not seem to be in love with her. She also mentions that Aaron has never written songs for her. She becomes upset, believing that no one will ever love her. But Sara calms her by saying that she's the most ideal girl there is, and anyone will be lucky to have her in their life. Next, Aaron sings outside Sara's window and asks her to bring her designs and chemicals with her. Then they get in the car and drive to the lake, where he helps her in collecting flamingo feathers for her prints. At that moment, she realizes how much he still cares about her after all these years. When Sara returns home, Roberto informs her that he's moving to her city to be with her. It's the day of the fashion show, and Sara is really anxious. However, when Colavita sees her designs, he burns other designs after realizing how Sara's designs outshine his collection. Then he asks her to take over the show. Sara's nervous about going on stage, but Aaron helps her to relax and comforts her by saying that everything will be all right. The show goes really well, and later, Lucy and Aaron introduce Sara to the public as the lead designer of the show. The next morning, Sara receives some gifts from Aaron, which includes his record and her old jacket. When she asks him why he dedicated his album to her and kept her jacket all these years, Aaron says that it's because she's special to him. When Roberto arrives, Sara becomes anxious and announces that she will marry him. Sara tells her coworker that she's going to marry Roberto despite her feelings for Aaron. So, to help Sara, she asks Roberto to come and hang out with her. She forces Roberto to walk up and down a tall structure in the middle of a sunny day, saying that people in this city always walk like this, and that he must adjust to it. However, due to heat stroke, he collapses and is rushed to the hospital. Sara visits Roberto in the hospital and informs him that he has dengue fever. She adds that due to her bad luck, Roberto is now hospitalized and that it's better if he stays away from her. Following some conversation, Roberto realizes that Sara did this on purpose to push him away. Unable to process this, he then reveals that he has made numerous compromises to move into her city. However, he understands her situation and says he wants her to be happy. They hug one last time and she gives the ring back to him. Next, they all arrive at the wedding location. Aaron tries to walk with Sara, but his friends show up unexpectedly to celebrate his wedding. Later that evening, Lucy watches them having fun and notices how comfortable Sara and Aaron are with each other. On the other hand, their parents' relationship is falling apart. Their mother has been talking with a man over the internet for several months, who also arrives at the hotel. When they both admit that their marriage is over, she goes to meet the new guy. On the wedding day, Lucy shows off her bridal gown designed by her sister in front of the media, expressing how creative her sister is. When the media asks her how she feels about getting married, she doesn't say anything and walks away. A while later, Lucy and Sara go to summon their mother and get ready for the wedding, but they find her being intimate with someone else in the room. However, it's their father on the bed, and her mother explains that she faked the affair to make their father try harder, and it worked. Lucy asks them how it feels to be in love, to which her father says that it feels like a burst of enormous joy. Hearing this, she realizes she does not feel the same way about Aaron, which causes her to reconsider the life-altering decision she's about to make. Next, Lucy goes to see Aaron, who is getting ready for the wedding, and tells him she doesn't like his music. Aaron also responds by saying that he doesn't like her influencer lifestyle either. At that moment, they realize that they are completely different individuals with opposite mindsets, and more importantly, they don't even love each other, which makes their wedding a terrible idea. Then, they both agree that they're not suited for each other and decide to part ways. Lucy goes to see Sara and informs her that she and Aaron are no longer together and that the wedding has been canceled. She also expresses her belief that Sara and Aaron are meant to be together. Lucy admits that Aaron's songs are dedicated to Sara, and she believes Sara should not deny herself the love she deserves. When Lucy says that she's always desired Sara's luck, she says that Lucy took her luck at her 5th birthday party, and her life has been a disaster since. She's startled that Sara held such a terrible childhood memory, even though Lucy has always wished for her happiness. At that moment, Sara realizes that she's not actually cursed. Instead, the resentment she had against her sister was ruining her life. Later, Sara meets Aaron, and they confess that they've always loved each other since they were teenagers, and then embrace in a kiss. Lastly, when Lucy asks Sara about one of her wishes, Sara tells her that she's always wanted to see whales since she was a kid. The sisters then spend the rest of the afternoon on the beach watching whales, resolving their relationship's grudges, and finally ending the curse.